This is something that I think will be fairly interesting for our audience to hear about.
You've got SEO and you've got AI SEO. So on the top here you have keyword and here you have question.
Can this model trust your website? Will your website be trustworthy?
Okay, you want to be there. You want to do the solution. There's no solution right now. We have our team member. He's actually quite of a celebrity in Spanish-speaking world. There are only 75 people in this world, on this planet, that hold this award, and Gonzi, who is doing those workshops, is one of them, for example.
Welcome in the Next Gen Web episode, where we explore performance, web innovation, and architecture. Today, with me, again, we have Dom Sipowicz from Vercel, and Igor, my colleague, who is software engineer. I myself will be the host. I'm head of delivery in Blazity. So today we'll explore a little bit of the Vercel culture, of Vercel services, and we will see where those topics will get us. So hello again, Dom. Nice to have you again. And one thing that we wanted with Igor to touch upon is the spectrum of Vercel services, things that enterprise clients or maybe independent developer or startups can expect from Vercel. This is something that I think will be fairly interesting for our audience to hear about.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. It's pleasure. Right, so maybe I'm just gonna talk about my team,
Sure.
Because last time we talked about Vercel quite a lot and products.
Yes.
Maybe this time we're gonna focus on the team. I want to share that professional services, it's not very visible from outside. So what we do, obviously we work with enterprise customers only. Those are page engagements. Like we touched base on this migrations, e-commerce. So what we do is that audits for all the projects in a different stages of the project life cycle of this migration, for example. So we have three kind of audits: code review audit, web performance audit, and usage audit. It depends on the project. It depends on the needs and focus. For example, when you're halfway through the migration, you probably want to have code review audit and then as a Next.js expert, we can tell you what are the best practices, what are the rendering and caching strategies, and deliver full comprehensive audit from the code perspective. Web performance is actually from the outside, not necessarily Next.js or deployed to Vercel. We do an audit from the outside that focus on web performance. And then usage is when you want to optimize the spending, and this is sometimes what enterprises want to do. So that's audits. We also have in our team workshops, which is really great on the beginning when you identify in this discovery phase that the gap is in your development team. Let's say you used to be in Angular shop and you want quickly speed up with the Next.js foundations or other kind of workshops. My team have really good people with expertise, and we do those hands-on workshops. So, for example, we have our team member. He's actually quite of a celebrity in Spanish-speaking world. This is really interesting because I'm not sure if you're aware. There is something called like GitHub Stars. This is like an award for open source contributions, etc. There are only 75 people in this world, on this planet, that hold this award. And Gonzi, who is doing those workshops, is one of them, for example. So we've got audits, workshops, and obviously we have consultations for the architecture review and sometimes problem solving, pair programming for those teams that needs expertise from Next.js. And that's pretty much what we do in our team.
That's super interesting for us, since we are working together in a company that has fairly similar, I would say, portfolio of services. Of course, on top of that, there is the Next.js development. But I was always wondering, how is it for your team? So is it like, for example, the audits? Are there the segue for the further cooperation? Are you treating them as a part of the bigger engagements, or are you trying to sort of atomize those services and treat them separately?
You know what? It's a really good question. I think internally and externally, we are treating it as a standalone product. So we have, for each of those that I mentioned, okay, so in our team, we are very flexible. We can be customized and tailored to the customer needs. However, because we're not that a lot of people in my team, to be honest, Vercel is big.
So how many
people in our team? I'm not sure if I can publicly say the numbers, but yeah, it's
not that big.
Yeah, it's a 2 pizza team.
Okay.
Yeah, like from Jeff Bezos' biography.
Nice.
So those are SKUs, like standalone products that can be added to the invoice and sold totally independently. Yes. Sometimes they're attached, some of those SKUs like workshop or audit or web performance audit to the enterprise deal. So we have quite a lot of that. Let's get back to those code review audits. Most of my team members, we created a blog post about how to perform code review audits, what are the code review audits. If you're gonna just Google Vercel code review audits, I'm sure it's gonna be on the first position in Google. Or actually, maybe if you're Gen Z or right now we are all in AI and vibe coding and AI SEO, you probably want to ask ChatGPT, what is the best blog post about the Next.js code review audits? And I'm sure ChatGPT will know that that's exactly this blog post.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you mentioned the AI SEO because this is something quite new, something that may be quite unknown to lots of people and companies. And do you know maybe what are the predictions for the AI SEO, if it will replace the traditional one? Or even if I'm using the right glossary, because like the terms there are quite complicated.
Yes, well, it's all new for all of us, especially for enterprises. I think enterprises are not there yet. On Vercel ship, there was talk about AI SEO observability, but I think it's a new thing. So we do have some statistics. So we know, I think, from the Ahrefs report that year over year, there are 35% less clicks from Google, which is less traffic. And that's a problem for SEI industry. And so I'm sure everyone is now pivoting to AI SEO. And if you don't have right now budget for AI SEO, you probably want one. But if not, then simply take some chunk from SEO budget to AI SEO. I think this is what's coming.
So one thing, guys, because for me, as a more business-oriented person, I would say, I think we need to, have a small step back. So in your professional opinion, what's the difference, like the biggest differences, the most visual, vivid elements? What's the difference between, let's say, traditional SEO and the new GEO or whatever, we will call it in a how you like? What's the difference? Because CEO there is this like whole notion or whole thing that was kind of corrupted at some point. It's like a huge, hole where everybody's throwing money, not knowing like exactly what and how it is going on. The organic traffic goes up and goes down. So, but we know, fairly enough about the SEO. But so what's the differences? What are the key elements?
Yeah, I actually know about it quite well. It would be cool to picture like you've got SEO and you've got AI SEO. So on the top here you have keyword and here you have question. Because you use the term geo, geolocation, yes. Generative Engine Optimization. There are many terms, abbreviations. I think at some point the industry will land on one. Yeah, I actually recently posted on X the difference between AI, AEO, GEO, AI LLMO.
Oh.
It's getting funny, you know. I think that's irrelevant to the business. What you ask about the business is the difference. So you've got, because it's an answer engine optimization, AIO. Here in SEO you've got question, here you've got keyword, and here you've got a question. What's the best? So for the keyword would be what we in my generation used to use Google. Next.js expert e-commerce Warsaw. That's what I'm looking for. In ChatGPT, I'm going to ask, what's the best agency or software house in Warsaw that specialize in Next.js migrations, right? Here you've got clicks. Here you've got actually answers. So here you've got traffic. You don't have traffic at all. You've got visibility. You've got just mentions about the brand. Here you measure it with Google Analytics, traffic, conversion, whatever. Here you have different tools. Right now there are probably like 20 AI SEO tools that measure observability and visibility in LLM models, because you've got a kind of situation like in 2 decades ago with there was Alta Vista, MSN, you know, some other countries have different search engines. So right now we have this situation where you have ChatGPT, AI Overview, which is Google, and you've got Anthropic, you've got XAI. So you want to check visibility on all across those models. So that's the main difference. I have a friend last week who visited me in London, and we were sitting in my garden, and he said, "Dom, I spent £2,000. Hi, Darek. Sorry, he's from Warsaw, and he said, "Dom, I spent £2,000 on the SEO conference, and the premise was we're going to talk about AI SEO. So everyone, you know, paid and spent a few days chatting about, okay, what's the solution? You can see, you can measure it, but okay, you want to be there. You want to do the solution. There's no solution right now, which is crazy situation we are in. There's a gap, vacuum.
Yes. Nobody knows what to do exactly. So there is a lot of myths or some, you know, movement that we're supposed to do something, because, for example, there are like marketing KPIs somewhere in the background, and leadership is demanding the new result, right?
I don't think leaderships are demanding it right now. I think we are not in this phase yet, as I'm sure not in enterprises yet.
That's true.
Like on Vercel ship, we touched base about the observability. And by the way, Vercel, not many people probably understand it, is very active in this AI space, because we've got partnerships, you know, to OpenAI, with Anthropic, with Cursor, with XAI, with all the model providers, because they're on our Vercel marketplace. Or AI Gateway, you have all those models available. And we also had a project about measuring bots, because measuring visibility of your brand inside ChatGPT responses, replies to your question answer, is different than knowing when the AI get your content, your brand visit. So in picture again this differences between SEO and GEO or AI SEO. Here you have SEO crawlers. You're crawling your website, you know, robots.txt, you know, in Google Search Console, you see everything. And here, what do you have? So we actually, as Vercel, partner with all those providers, and because of our Vercel firewall, etc., we wanted our product to be perfect for AI crawlers, AI bots. And our firewall, we really want to block only malicious activity and not the true, genuine, real AI bot. And guess what? All the attackers are impersonating those bots. It's super easy to change the user agent. So what we did, we partnered with all those providers. We know we created actually a special service called bots.fyi, and where you can check, you know, what's the percentage of impersonations. It's really crazy good stuff. And because we have this information, we have a visibility of when the AI crawler see your content. It needs to first see your content, your brand, about you, learn about you, then to surface the answer in the LLM, in the chat, right? So we actually cover all of this iteration, this cycle of information. So surprising probably for the viewers is that Vercel is the partner you want to be around on the platform if you're serious about the AI. Hello, AI Cloud.
Yes.
You know.
Super interesting stuff. So by the way, maybe for part of our audience, this is super natural and understandable. But if you can tell us a little more, like what the AI bot sees, what kind of content it scraps from the website, or what's happening behind the scenes? Because, you know, keywords, site authority, all those things are fairly well known and understood.
Still important.
Yeah, this is actually a great question because we hear lots of people wondering if maybe some structuring of the data helps to parse the content for the LLM, or maybe it gets converted to Markdown. How it works like under the hood?
Right. You know, I'm super interested in this topic. I'm not claiming I'm super expert. However, I spent tons of time, especially recent weeks, into this field. By the way, this is super funny situation because I get the impression that everyone talks about AI SEO for last few weeks, maybe few months. However, we at Vercel, we do that for ourselves for more than a year. I was living under the impression that everyone's following those trends. However, you know, my friend in my garden, he said, "No, Dom, there's no solution." I was like, "Well, wait, Vercel already did that for a year. We actually did that. You know, ask ChatGPT for the best deployment platform for Next.js, Vercel." And so I was shocked because I'm living in this bubble. I'm working inside as a Vercel employee, and we have a culture of Vercel culture that is super open, and I can learn a lot about this just from my Slack. We can talk about culture if you want, but to answer your question, we also want to give back as an open source manner. We also want to share our knowledge, and our CTO Malte Ubel actually wrote a perfect, not only one blog post about how we do and what we learn for AI SEO. So I highly recommend you to look up this blog post. There will be answers like what to look for, what LLM's looking for, what we tested. It's working for us, and we did quite a lot of unique work with those providers, with those bots, with this observability. So yeah, this blog post is really important.
That's great, because some of our customers already asking about this kind of expertise or guidance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they as you said, usually those are not enterprise-grade companies, but those are fairly well, I would say, present companies in the digital world, and they sort of acknowledged that without deep understanding of how it really works, they will probably burn a lot of money before they know. So they're reaching out to us as tech partners to ask, because
congratulations, good. You're ahead of the curve. Seriously, good.
Thank you. yeah, but I also have this feeling, and honestly, one of the things that I also am quite sure of is that since SEO is mainly a domain of, let's say, for simplicity, marketing.
Yeah.
GEO is more of a domain of developers, engineers, people. It's much more technical. This is something that I'm trying to say.
We have the same vibes as in 2 decades ago with Google. Google was first adopted by first adopters, engineers, tech people, and then everyone used Google.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
less year over year. Sorry. Yeah. 35%.
Yeah, I think it's also more natural for people to ask the question for the LLM, and instead of typing keywords. I mean, this probably, in my opinion, can get quicker adoption because it feels like just more natural language.
You can continue with the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is the brand, prove it. Show me social proof. You know, like a conversion continue. Yeah. So just to address, like, I want viewers to give some specifics. You know, I'm going to try to do it like on spot because I didn't prepare that. However, always use server-side rendering. This is also information in the blog post. So always use server-side rendering. You mentioned about the authority. Still SEO stands. You know, because the SEO is like a feeding the LLMs for citations.
Okay.
You've got citations, sources, and so I've seen graphs showing citation statistics per ChatGPT, AI Overview, and XAI, Grok, and those are actually different. Those are totally different. Like I think one of the models use 50% of Wikipedia. Obviously, good luck spanning Wikipedia. If you're going to start doing it right now, yeah, you're going to just harm yourself. Yes. But there are other sources. So you still need to do SEO or this marketing, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. The technical SEO is super important, and why I said SSR. Also, we have a blog post that we partner with SEO agency, and we actually analyzed this first. It was probably like a year ago. AI crawlers and what they requesting, and we found out that only one renders client-side rendering. So if you're not using correct rendering and caching strategy, or server components, etc., you're missing out. So the first recommendation: use Next.js. Of
course.
Sorry, I had to. Yeah. So SSR. Then you've got this authority in SEO, which means because it's an answer engine, you want question answer. So naturally FAQ.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and then you've got this schema design still only for a few models, not for all, but for a few models. JSON LD from SEO, it's important. However, the whole HTML document render on the server SSR, you want this structure to be H1, H2, like semantic. Help the model to when it parse the document to understand the context.
This is super interesting. One of the things that I was reading before our meeting today, and it struck me as something very like profound observation, is that till now we were living in a sort of world where we were mostly asking questions: can we trust this LLM model? Can we trust ChatGPT?
No,
can we trust this or that?
No.
But now the question is sort of reversed in a way that can this model trust your website? Will your website be trustworthy for the agent? Because there is like a broader audience all of a sudden of your website.
I can answer this question actually. It's a good question. However, better question would be, can the model access your website? Because if you would be surprised. AI crawlers are getting the traffic on the web, on the internet in general. AI crawlers is getting bigger and bigger and bigger chunk of the whole traffic. So naturally, hosting companies, platforms, and websites will start blocking them. And if you're not which one is correct, impersonated, you're gonna block the wrong one. Or if your website is slow, which this podcast is about, web performance and high-speed, great websites, or CSR, you're gonna render your website client-side rendering. It's blind for most of the crawlers. So I would say this technical AI SEO, like technical SEO, is super important. Deploying to Vercel, using Next.js, all those best practices, we have very strong defaults. So you're avoiding a lot of drama, a lot of mistakes from the get-go just by using this technology.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's really important for AI SEO.
Nice. And entering this era right now where I know that, as you said, there are no distinctive one opinion about how efficient the AI agents or the, let's say, using the AI tools as a search engine are, but even I was reading quite, I would say, balanced opinion from the Wall Street Journal yesterday, and they say that the conversion from this kind of questions is between 2 and 3 times higher than from the regular Google search, which from the marketing point of view is like a holy grail of doing anything.
All right, so let's go deeper on that. To be exactly sure and measure conversion on brand visibility and mentions, you would just accredit it to just brand, like from your conversion analytics tool. There is an option, because when you ask ChatGPT, you click those icons with sources, it will gives you a list. When somebody clicks that, okay, you will see clearly that this is from ChatGPT, for example, and you can assign conversion to this. Yes, 100%. However, most people will not click. Mm-hmm. So you just have brand visibility. Mm-hmm. And how do you measure that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think this is nuance. You know, if you go down the rabbit hole into details, it's still, I think we are new, and 100%. I personally believe that it will shift. Mm-hmm. Like I know that Gen Z, right now, I'm not sure who did this research. However, Gen Z is now favoring to use conversational like AI overview or ChatGPT to search anything, yeah, rather than Google. So we know this is going in this direction. You have to be there.
Absolutely, absolutely. There is one thing that I wanted to sort of circle back to wrap up our conversation, because we drifted towards the SEO, GEO, AIO. But you mentioned something that was, I think, very, very important. You mentioned blog posts on the Vercel website. You mentioned this whole culture of sharing knowledge. So I want to come back to this topic for a second at the end of our conversation today, because I feel that this is kind of special, and for many engineers, or not engineers, people connected to the IT business in general, this is super important. But how it looks from the inside of Vercel, like,
wow, okay.
How would you describe it?
Vercel culture. Yeah, I think this topic, great question. This topic is from outside, you know, people are interested in how we operate because we have some success in many fields, what we do. Open source platform, AI, AI cloud now. We are shipping a lot. That's our culture. That what's visible from outside is that Vercel iterate fast. We're shipping a lot, and I think obviously it's thanks to the leadership. Yeah. Like all leadership at Vercel is technical engineers. I know that Vercel, you know, strive to hire the best talent. However, I think there are two things that make Vercel unique, and because some people think that we are like, you know, this new FANG. Like Facebook, Meta, Google, Apple, etc. Obviously, we do have engineers from those companies. Like Malte, our CTO, used to be 11 years in Google, literally working on Google search. So we know about search engine optimization. Well, not optimization, but search engines or answer engines. Two things that stand out about Vercel culture. One, we are open, very open inside for all Vercelians. So the leadership team have something called brain channels. It's public information, I think on some podcast was mentioned already. So that's why I'm going to bring it up. But just I'm going to explain what it is, not a lot of details. So we have on our Slack, because Vercel is super Slack driven, on our Slack, the leadership team have brain channels. Like Brain G, Brain Malte, Brain Jared. It's treated like a private X platform where you can share short of your thoughts. At the moment of you have this thought, you can share with the whole company because it's open. And how you see things, how you see industry, what is your aim, what is your goal, and at which direction the leadership is going. So everyone to be in line with all this leadership, this vision, right? And it's also include the sharing knowledge, sharing some stuff, and all the leadership at Vercel have their own brain channels. And what's crazy about it is that, let's say I've got a question that I want to ask one of the leadership, and I can just literally go to this brain channel, ask this question publicly on our Vercel company. So imagine I would never do it as a DM privately because maybe it's a stupid question. Maybe I don't want to take time from the leadership. I'm just Dom. But I can ask it on public brain channel. The answer can be for the benefit of the whole company.
True.
So it's like a scaling, spreading the knowledge, etc. So this is one thing. We have those brain channel, which is amazing in my opinion. I never seen it before. And the second thing about Vercel, which I also never in my life seen, is Friday demo days. It's crazy. I personally presented maybe 2 or 3 times on demo days. Every Friday there is like a list of people who wants to present. And because there's so many of those demos, we actually limit sometimes to, it depends on how many, for 4-minute or 5 or 6-minute pitch. So imagine that everyone can inside the company present your idea, present what you accomplished in last week or month, or maybe your side project, or maybe RFC. You just want to improve this at Vercel. You would be surprised. Many of those things actually hit production and would never be surfaced. There's always leadership on a Zoom call. Like there are hundreds of people on this Zoom call, and the chat section is going like crazy. Oh my God, we need to ship this. And there's hype. And because of those Friday demo days, the quality is amazing. Everyone who present and get used to those 4-5 minute, few minute pitches, to answer a question about the culture, we can operate asynchronously. Like Vercel is from the very beginning is a remote first company, but everyone can create a small demo. What are you want to express yourself, comment your problem, record a Loom video, and then asynchronously communicate on Slack. Everything is Slack driven at Vercel. We're super Slack users. And because we know how to operate with those videos and pitches and everything, this is how it operates. That's why, in my personal opinion, it's so effective at Vercel.
Absolutely. Well, this is super interesting. Today we need to wrap up slowly.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dom, again for joining us. This was super interesting journey as always. Thanks for being with us again today, and I hope we'll see each other soon.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today. We are so glad that we can bring you those interesting topics. Follow us on social media. Remember to be with us during the next podcast.
For me, if you want to follow more content related to Next.js, web performance, and maybe AI SEO, you can follow me on LinkedIn or X, the Everything platform. And I also recommend you to look out for the Vercel community, which is community.vercel.com, and you can have a discussion there and ask questions, and many Vercelians are there hanging out, and you can have answers.
Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for the next episode. See you soon.